What is on me? Dirty. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl P. Um, we may have the glasses on or off. I don't really know right now. But so I was just thinking, me sitting here for the past like 14 days, however long, 12 to 14 days, where I was just like not feeling it. I don't know what word to best describe it, but everybody knows I just wasn't feeling it. I'm just thinking like, damn, I'm really not following. Like, I gotta get back to the basics. As always, you came to read, sir? You gotta get back to the basics. So I got back to my book. Back to these 6 steps that by now, if you've been watching our more intimate conversations where we really get into this book and thinking and growing rich ultimately. So anyways, I stopped at I think it's like the third or fourth, chapter 4, auto suggestion, and I wanted to talk about auto suggestion today. So by this point, I wouldn't necessarily watch this live if you're watching on the replay if you have not one read the book or listened to my other ones. I mean, y'all can always tune in just because you like Little Pink, but outside of that, like y'all really should go get the book, listen to it on YouTube, something. Take some fucking notes. I don't know. So we did Desire, which is really chapter 2. Like start there. I don't really see a reason for like the intro and like all this. They share some like stories, but it really is like that's back in 1930s, baby. We in 2023. So I took the time to sit there and read it all, and I'm just like, yeah, we could really start with a chapter of Desire because that's where it really starts to get into everything. And then the chapter's Desire teaches us, what is it called? The 6-step method. Where is it at? Oh, is it in this chapter? Sorry, guys, I highlighted everything. Yeah. So that's the chapter of Desire. Then the chapter of Faith, which we got into and just what faith is. But I think one thing that they waited till the chapter of autosuggestion to talk about is how faith is an emotion. I never thought of faith being that way. Um, but definitely go read, listen to it, whatever. Come back to this. Anyways, so I just highlighted some of the important parts. Although, if you actually want to be successful at it, you do need to read it, listen to it on YouTube, moving forward. So auto suggestion. Every time I think of the word auto suggestion, it kind of throws me off. And so what is auto suggestion? It's just simply self suggestion. I feel like us changing the verbiage to self suggestion just is more natural. So I just highlighted some things. I'm gonna read the highlighted parts if it's interesting to you guys. I definitely recommend going to check out the book and just seeing because ultimately I feel like a lot of you follow me on this channel because we're trying to get rich. Like we're trying to get more abundant in all aspects of our lives. We're trying to get to our ideal lives. I mean, if that's not why you're on my channel, I don't really know what to tell you. But that's kind of the goal that for us to all be on like the same page. Anyways, and then it's talked about like why we be stuck in poverty because I just according to this book, according to my beliefs, like scratch this book, according to my beliefs, like I don't believe in like you being affected by your circumstances. I do think and I do recognize it's maybe a little bit more challenging for others, a more little difficulty to get through. But I just feel like Minecraft. I just feel like I don't let circumstances affect me. I don't want to live my life by letting my circumstances affect me. If that's the case, me just coming from a teenage mom, like I could have let that affect me. But I overcame that. Like I was the first in my family not to be a have a teenage pregnancy, or you know, to graduate high school. Like I did a lot of firsts because I told myself it wasn't because something someone told me. It was just like I just wanted to do better. I just wanted to be better. So I chose that. And looking back on it, I wasn't manifesting or anything back then. And it was just like kind of my thoughts. Or even now in life, like I don't let if I want something, I want it. Like obstacles, circumstances, it's just doesn't come in the way. So I feel like we let our circumstances kind of control us into not believing that we're worthy or that we can even achieve like big goals. So when I tell people like kind of my ideal goals and like ambitions and dreams and stuff, I feel like some people think I'm delusional. I think it's a funny word to use, but like I don't give a fuck because I honestly believe I can get to like my goals and dreams, and I don't let other people's insecurities or thoughts deter me from like what the fuck I want to do in life. Um I also feel like if your goals and dreams are not a little bit delusional, they're not really big enough in my opinion, because there's some big achievements that I want to accomplish. So most of you guys on my channel, I would say, are about on the same page. Usually we tend to agree on a lot of things. I think that's why y'all stick around. But carrying on, I'm just gonna read some of the things that I highlighted. And thank you guys for being on here. Nature has built nature has so built man that he has absolute control over the material which he reaches through his subconscious mind through his five senses. Although this is not to be constructed as a statement that man always exercises this control. So, like, let's stop there and break that down a bit. Okay, I just read through it, so apologize. We're going to be talking about this together. Also, it would help if you guys would like comment below and not make me feel as if I'm just talking to myself. So, apparently we can control our material gain through our five senses, but we're not always exercising, we're not always utilizing it. So comment below what are some ways that you can overcome that. In the great majority of instances, he does not exercise it, which explains why so many people go through life in poverty. I take it back to one of those chapters we was reading. Now I don't know which one it was in, but it's just like, say you grow up in the hood, right? And like you just see your surroundings. I'll take my life for example. The area that one thing that I stood out from, I guess, people in where I was growing up from is I never went to school around the people that I grew up. I always wanted more for myself, so I always made sure I achieved highly so that in the district I guess I was in, I could pretty much go to any school. If you were in what they call, I think, the magnet program, you had the choice to not go to schools that you were zoned to and to try to get into a better area. Sorry. And stuff. So like I always did that. Um or just stood out. Like I remember the very first time I worked at Whataburger, the very first Whataburger I worked at. This was when I was 20. And at the time I was in college, and was I still working at? This was like the end of Pump It Up, which that was a whole cool little era. Right after me, like when I was working at the medical examiner's office and managing at Pump It Up, I then went to Whataburger. I'm hoping I got yeah, because I didn't do that when I was 21. So okay, 20. And I'm the same age as one of the girls there. So I remember like on my lunch breaks, I would be studying. So I'd be in the middle of this fast food restaurant, like with my books and notes and like catching up on shit, like whenever I had the time to take a break. And I remember there was this girl there that was my age and she had already had 4 children. And honestly, nobody in there, like just because I worked at a one by area I was living in at the time, nobody was like wanting to achieve more in life. They just let their like circumstances stay and get the best of them. And I had to stop working there because it was kind of like tearing me down. Like, damn, like I'm over here 20 years old and trying to achieve like all these things, coming here, working my 40 hours, studying on my breaks, like doing all this stuff. And I see these people that are my age or older just lack of motivation, lack of like, they think they have to be stuck working at this fast food place for the rest of their life. Hey boo, how you doing? And I just knew I wanted better, so I had to get up out of there. So I don't know. I feel like if you want better, you'll achieve better. Also, this was very important to read because those 6 steps are very important. It talks about not skipping them. So it says you were instructed in the last 6 steps described in the chapter of desire to read out loud twice daily the written statement of your desire for money and see how and see and feel yourself already in possession of the money. By following these instructions, you communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. Through repetition of this procedure, you voluntarily create thoughts, habits, thought habits which are favorable to your efforts to transmute desires into its monetary equivalent. So we have to kick it back and go to the chapter of desire and run through those 6 steps because they're like vital to your success. I really wasn't gonna read today, and then when I opened this book, it opened up to this page, and this was the first thing I highlighted before I actually went through and read the chapter. But and I needed to hear this today because I think I've been falling into this, and I always tell people like we shouldn't have doubts. Um, that we shouldn't have any doubt or anything, but yet I was doing it. Like I fell victim into like having doubt. So I'm gonna read it to you guys. Do not become discouraged if you cannot control and direct your emotions the first time you try to do so. Hey Fanny, I just saw your message. I'm like, I'll respond to them after this. Um, but yeah, this was the first thing I saw, and I'm just like, damn, this is so fucking true. So do not become discouraged if you cannot control and direct your emotions the first time you try to do so. And thinking about that sentence, it was so hard to like gather. Mind you, it was a Mercury retrograde, but so hard to gather like my thoughts and emotions and to just not have any doubt. Like I spent those days doubting myself, which is why I didn't make any money, which is why I didn't. I feel like I set myself back, to be honest, you guys, but it's okay. We get back on track. Remember, there is no such possibility as something for nothing. Ability to reach and influence your subconscious. Ability to reach and influence your subconscious mind has its price, and you must pay that price. You cannot cheat even if you desire to do so. So, it also talked about in the steps what are you going to give up? Because it's kind of scary the way it said it, but like you're not going to get something for nothing. Let's see how they said it in that chapter. I was in desire. There is no such reality as something for nothing. It's step number 2. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. Like what are you gonna give? For me, like I always put time, but honestly, I need to take that off of there because I really don't want to give up my time. When you think of that and I spoke into existence, and then I feel like I'm just distributing my time with all these people, which is not what I want to do. So I'm gonna think of that, but y'all must do so as well. The next thing I highlighted was if you try and fail, make another effort and another until you succeed. So don't give up, you guys. Don't give up. And that's what the mindset that I feel like we should all be in. Because I feel like this challenge is like I've been in the sex work industry going on 5 years. And I would be a fucking liar to you guys if I didn't say that it didn't have its ups and downs just with different aspects of your life, with money, like it has its slow periods. Like we're about to come, be prepared, you guys. We're about to come up into a slow period because now people are going to be spending time with their families. Summertime, Christmas breaks, holiday breaks, people be with their families. Camming starts slowing down. So, hey. Um, Begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting, meanwhile, that your subconscious mind will hand over the plans or plans you need. So one thing I do is visualization. I think that's really, really, really important into like with manifesting and stuff. I will literally it's like go for what you want. So like see your ideal life. In my case, that's what I'm looking for. You maybe it's just money. And that's not a bad thing because I spent 4 years solely focused on money that this year it's really important for me to just to be balanced. Um Nonetheless, whatever it is, you want to visualize yourself already in possession of it. So if you want that new car and you're just like, I want a little red Cavalier, I don't know, whatever it is, you sit there and you visualize yourself having it, and your subconscious mind. If you, I'm sorry, I hope I'm making sense. If you believe yourself already in possession of having it, it's supposed to come true by this and through visualization. So moving on. Again, this is what we're reading. Think and Grow Rich. And this is where I read this part. Faith is the strongest and most productive of all the emotions. I never thought faith was an emotion. Like when you think of emotions, you think of happy, sad, you know, whatever. But faith, when you think of faith as an emotion, because for me, like growing up in the church and everything, I feel like when I hear the word faith, I just think it makes me think of being back in church and how them always preaching about that and stuff. But really, faith is part of not having any doubts, and it's most definitely an emotion. When I looked up what emotions meant, it's a natural, instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationships with others. Um, Instinctive or intuitive feeling as distinguished from reasoning or knowledge. So, yeah. Follow the instructions no matter how abstract or impractical they may be. And that's what I was telling you guys. Like, my goals are delusional to people, but not to me. And that's all that, no matter how impractical they may be. At first, the time will soon come if you do. I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I should put on my glasses. Follow the instructions, no matter how abstract or impractical they may be at first. The time will soon come if you do so as you have been instructed in spirit and as well in acts with. I am not making sense. Why can't I read this, you guys? I sound slow as fuck. Bloopers. Get this off of me. Let's start over and let's pretend like that didn't happen. Follow the instructions, no matter how abstract or impractical they may be at first appear to be. The time will soon come if you do as you have been instructed in spirit and in will and act. So, by believing, having faith, as well as writing the 6 steps down, having the 6 steps posted somewhere where you can see them every morning, reciting them twice daily, like all that shit is what they're talking about. When a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. So, we got to go back to them 6 steps. Because obviously we ain't doing that. We ain't in our ideal lives yet. So go back to the chapter of desire. I don't want to repeat it. I've literally made like 3 or 4 videos on these 6 steps. And so I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I wrote it down in my book. I wrote down the exact amount of money I intend to acquire. I wrote down a plan. Okay. I wrote down a plan to get there, but I have not been looking at it twice daily. I do manifestations, but I should really follow what this is saying so I can practice what I preach and not be a hypocrite. But that's all I have to say to you guys today. Go read the chapter or listen to it on YouTube. Think and Grow Rich, Desire. Think and Grow Rich, Faith. Think and Grow Rich, Auto Suggestion. And y'all catch up to those three, and that's where we're at. So we can come back. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this next chapter. Specialized knowledge. That's the next chapter. And then imaginations after that. That'll be a fun chapter, I'm sure. But toodles, peace out, gotta go.